to, hey man, why do I don't like this person? Why, or why do we get to the point where like, hey, I've been letting it slide all this time, but I can't let it slide this time. Right. Well, the reason why it even got to there is you didn't stop it on the first one. Right. You didn't call the meeting on the first one. Right. Like, which
is an 80s rule.
Yeah, you could.
Right. There was a problem. We called the lead. Let's sit down. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
On the first one, very first time you feel like you was disrespected or whatever. And it's the way you handle things. Like, what I'm saying? There's times and places for everything. Like, you kind of got to feel it out. Like, like if it's a hostile environment, don't approach that man asking him about nothing that happened then. Wait till you might see him at church or see him at Safeway. Or, it's like, man, let me holler at you, man. You'll feel it. You know what I'm saying? We all feel it. And then, like you're saying, deal with your emotionals. If you can deal with it in a professional manner. Right. And, like I was saying, just on, if y'all want to call it player or however you want to call it, just, nonviolent approach. Intelligence approach, and that's a lot of times that's what they need people like me and you for, because they think that them dudes, them the OGs, and sometimes they think I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But I pick the ones to holler at. I feel and like you say, if you could take the pressure off, like these people, then that's what causes the emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he clowned you. Ooh, what you gonna do?
For sure.
Now you got to make a move because it's all on Twitter, it's all on Facebook, it's all on, and that's the part that you can get. That's the web right there. Yeah. That's what catches you up.
Yeah, I'm even starting to see some of the so-called OGs or older dudes falling into that trap. Like before, man, like I'm starting to see cats on Instagram and Twitter and stuff like, wait, we don't do that.
Well, the brother DB said it earlier. It's the looking in the mirror effect. Mm-hmm. When you once was and you no longer are, it's hard to accept that, and you really want to be who you used to be. Yeah. And it's been 20 years and you ain't got back to the used to be. So you're going to have to settle on out to who you are now. Right. That's why it's an evolution. Yeah. It keeps going. Right. You don't never stop learning. You don't never stop nothing. You got to keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you know it all, you stop learning. Yep. I say to tell people, like, it's okay to put you in yourself in a box, calling yourself, hi, this is who I am. Right. But make sure you come back out that box. Yeah. Because when you put yourself in the box, then you automatically saying no to any other box that's out there. Yeah. Because your box mean it all. You don't want to learn anymore. Right. So I'm coming to your platform. Now let me hear what you got to say. Right. Now I'm going to go check out this brother over here, see what he got to say. And the beauty of it all, it's all connected. And right now, as we going into this year 2018 or whatever, this time we're really going into a new age of Aquarius or whatever. The information is there. The information wasn't there when we can use the internet for pictures and likes. We can use the internet to go get this information. Absolutely. So when you join in on these podcasts and you hear what we're talking about, then you can go back and do your own research and the first thing that you said was self-awareness. Yep. Teach yourself. Yes. Know about you. Find out who you really are. Right. What is your real purpose?
For sure. And which is why I chose to, for whatever influence I do have on the community, right? We all got a choice, right? I could choose to be a superhero or a villain, right? And so I'm choosing this role of I want to be a superhero. I want to be an advocate. I want to be a pioneer on this mindset of emotional intelligence. It's not something that we made up. It's been around, but our community doesn't recognize it. And most people.
Oh, they suffer from it.
They suffer from it, from the lack of.
The lack of.
The lack of, King CYDAL, for you, man, so when you see the skill about, no matter the situation, never let emotions overpower your intelligence, what's coming to mind to you?
Coming up in the music world, people are going to throw a lot of stuff at you. People will challenge you. People will try to bring an emotion out of you. And you have to be intelligent enough to react. Mm-hmm. And I think once you channel your own energy and know what you like, know what you dislike, it's better to deal with people, and it's easier to elevate in that sense because more people want to deal with you.
You got to look at it like this. Not to cut you off, but
it's all good.
When you become like, that's going back to this '80s thing.
Yeah, for sure.
We was the Bay Sharks. We had a lot of influence on this whole universe.
Yes.
You take one of us, drop us off in Detroit, Michigan, Chicago. We gonna flip the whole scene because they like the way that we get down. So you gotta understand, when you're going out there, what you're dealing with. You're dealing with people that, like we talked about at first, like the people that can't look themselves in the eye in the mirror because they're not there or they're feeling bad, and their whole job is to get you involved and caught up and throw your life away.
Right, for sure.
So if you know that's what you're going against, that's your first victory right there. Mm-hmm. You know that I'm when I walk out this house, it's people out there that don't want me to come back in this house. Mm-hmm. So I know that, and I know that I'm going out there with in a so-called competition type of environment, like what I'm saying, like being in the music, it's masculine like anything else. You know what I'm saying? People like we the best, or you know how they do it.
Right. And you got to come back and tell them what we've been doing.
Yeah, you got to. That's what we've been doing. Yeah, for sure.
And so, King CYDAL, so in terms, do me a favor right now. Highlight, whatever the brand or profession, like your role in music. Let the audience know who you are, what you do, why you do it.
King CYDAL. I produce, rap. That's really what I do. I rap,
Okay.
So, but I've been able to extend what I do as far as personality.
Right.
And I've been able to resonate amongst different people, different groups. Mm-hmm. And so it just led me to different opportunities like hosting, acting.
Yeah.
So the list goes on, you know what I mean? It's bigger than music at this point, but.
And how does emotion play a part in what you got to do? When you think about the center of your world, how does emotion, being in charge of your emotion play a part in what you do?
It's just kind of like what Bila said earlier, like if you've been through stuff, you can kind of weather the storm when it comes at you. A lot of people can't, they fold. And I've seen people fold. And so, seeing the people fold the way they did, it just taught me how to kind of stand a little stronger and hold my ground when it comes to dealing with different people, personalities or whatnot. So just being emotionally intelligent enough to, weather the storm each time.
Absolutely. And where can people find you at?
At King_CYDAL. So it's King, KING_CYDAL. That's on Twitter, Instagram. If you have Spotify, Pandora, iTunes.
Okay.
Whichever.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah.
One of my, to your point, like one of my strategies now in life, especially when people saying something slick, I am very good at putting some space in between my responses. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like that's my go-to because, I'm playing chess, not checkers these days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they gotta be calculated. And so I put that space. It seems like forever. Yeah. It's only a few seconds, but I take that so that, I'm able to articulate, more and be, before I let you chime in on about your brands, we definitely want to know what your latest thing is going on. You said something earlier that I'm going to adopt into my conversations when I'm out here traveling and teaching corporate folks and talking to people about emotional intelligence. And you said something very profound. You said the people closest to you got the code to your emotions.
They do.
And so I have to bring that into the fold because when you think about it, the people, and me and my wife was talking about this just yesterday because she tells me, she says, I'm your biggest case study, right? Because that, if you followed me around for 24 hours a day, at home is where you won't see me being so emotionally intelligent, right? And she teasing me. She goes, what happened to the EI?
Right.
I was like, you know what I mean? I have to catch myself. And she was like, I'm just trying to help you stay on top of your game. But the reality of it is, it's the people closest to you.
They're going to call you out.
So
they're going to call you out on your imperfections.
And your imperfections. So it goes back to my thing. No matter the situation, right? Never let your emotions overpower your intelligence. So I'm at home, like you say,
Yeah.
pull out this outer. I'm not DB at home. I'm
Right.
Derek.
Yeah.
Right? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All the layers come off.
Right.
And, you're vulnerable.
You're vulnerable.
Right? Your kids make you vulnerable.
Yeah.
Parents make you vulnerable. Things that you're closest to make you vulnerable. And that's when the skill set is needed the most. Right?
And one thing that you did say is the space between the answer. Because your brain is a computer. It got to say, well, who is this talking to me first?
Right.
And is this a sarcastic one?
Right.
Or do she really mean this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So all this got to go on in a half millisecond.
Yeah.
But if you just take 1 second,
right.
You know what I'm saying, then to figure out where is this coming from, why is this being said like this? And then I always say, in order to have an argument or a debate or even a conversation, it takes two. So if you don't react, if you don't come in or bite into the so-called trap, then you're straight. Yes,
sir. Right. So we're going to go ahead and start wrapping this up, though. So I'm going to leave the audience with a final thought of wait a minute, B.
Yeah.
Tell us, what's your laser project and how can people reach you that's listening?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm at BeLegit72 on the IG. You know what I'm saying? Be Legit Music on Facebook. Is that Be Legit Music? No, official Be Legit. That's what that is on Facebook. And then, everything else is Be Legit 72 on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? You can follow Hip Hop 707. That's in Block Movement, at Block Movement. That's the record label.
For sure.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep, at Block Movement Records.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And the final thought.
Same you on label?
Yeah.
All right. And the final thought to the day on the I Never Worry podcast, where we talk about emotional intelligence with everyday people, about everyday situations. Final thought of the day is this: always be emotionally prepared for people to switch up on you at any time.
Hey, yes. I would we can keep talking about that, but
Go ahead.
So young artists out there, they get so emotional. Yeah. Even if you get a record deal, it's their job to like you. It's their job to want to do a lot of stuff for you, call you because it's their job. Like you get signed to a label and they do all that, and that's their job to do it. But people get that confused with friendship. That's not your friend, and these people are not your friends. So when you're no longer hot and you're not the artist on the label, you kind of get emotional because they're no longer taking your calls and they're not like that. So you have to learn to control, your emotions on that too. You know what I'm saying? Don't get business confused with friendships. You can't be friends with certain acquaintances you have that that walk of life with. You do the business, and after the business is over, then that's just what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. Well, right on, B. I appreciate you guys, man. So, again, this is DB Bedford, your emotional intelligence consultant. I was here with King CYDAL, my man Be Legit.
Yes, sir.
Cuzzo, Mr. John Howe. And thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you around. Peace.
Yep.
Peace.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed that episode. Thank you so much for sitting down and taking some time with us. Big shout out once again to Be Legit and King CYDAL for taking their time, having the conversation with us. We hope that you enjoyed it and that you found something in there that you can use in your everyday life as you navigate through this world through the lens of emotional intelligence. Please don't forget to stay tapped in. iNeverWorry.com, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, I Never Worry Podcast. I Never Worry spells all as one word. Thank you for joining us. This is your I Never Worry Podcast.